What is up, my people? What is good in the hood, everybody? Thank you so much for coming by once again. Make sure to throw those A's in the chat. If you can hear your boy speak, make sure to throw those A's in the chat right now. What is good, family? Very good to see everybody here. Very, very exciting times today, you guys. What is up? What is up? Samantha H, moderator Sebastian Lim. What's up, guys? Very excited to be here, guys. What's up? What's up, Casey? Jeff Moore, how's it going? Rocket Lock, what's up? What's up? Biana, how you doing? M9, what's up? So EM9, is that name actually? I've been curious to ask you about that. Is that actually E minor 9, like the like a chord? In theory, in music, is that why you have that there? Is that the E minor scale at 9? Is that what we're doing? John Smith, what's up? What's up? Very excited to be here, guys. Yes, we do have a pretty good schedule coming up, right? We're going to be looking at a few tickers today. I'm going to name them. Let's see. I got SPY on the list. I got GTII, NOGN. We got ticker symbol VERB. We got COSM, CLMV, NCMI, ticker symbol ALT. And we still got a few more, right? So we'll go ahead and try to add that ticker too, John. What is that? GMDA? Yeah, let me go ahead and put it on there right now and see what we can do about it, man. But very, very excited here, you guys. What's up? What's up? Let me go back to that. So that's GMDA, right? Okay. So as you guys know, we're gonna be looking at the broader market first, just so we can get an idea as to what could be happening for the next trading day, right, you guys? So we're definitely getting that. M9 saying maybe. Yeah. So we just got to get an idea over what could be happening in the markets coming up, right, you guys? So, but yes, I'm very excited over what could be happening, guys. We're getting those higher highs. We're still getting that target. We reached about $415 still. And yes, we're going to be looking at NOGN, not a problem whatsoever. Okay, you guys, let me just go back into that chat and see. That was GMDA and MOBQ, right? So I'll try to add them, right, and we'll try to get to them as fast as possible. So with that said, I think I should probably start covering up that SPY ticker, but I think I'm going to record it too, you guys, so that maybe we can get a couple videos out. That's MOBQ, right? So a couple videos out onto the YouTube. That's not only the live stream, right? As I did the COSM video the last time, and it actually worked pretty well, you know. So it was very exciting to see that the last time that we were able to kind of multitask in that way. But guys, remember that this is I was actually not even planning to streaming like this. Again, I'm still looking into coming in the mornings, right? So, but because my son is still sort of right, almost there, I ended up coming back into streaming for you guys tonight anyway, right? So I don't want to just like leave everybody in the dust either, right? So, but yeah. So let me go ahead and add that one too, right? So that was MOBQ, and yeah, we'll go ahead and try to add that one into the list as well. What's up, Claire? Good to see you here. Yeah, so you're looking at BTCY. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and put it on the list as well. We'll try to get to it as soon as humanly possible, right? So, but yeah, like I said, guys, we're going to be recording a few of these videos so that we can add them into the YouTube a little later, right? So you don't have to actually come back and see the whole thing here. But yeah, anyway, it is there. Okay, so let me just revert myself back over here to the SPY. I actually cleaned up the chart just a little bit so that we can understand and not be convoluted here with a bunch of information, right? So let me go ahead and start prepping that thing right now. Hold on just a sec, you guys. Hold on. But yeah, guys, thank you everybody for coming by. Please make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And please remember, guys, that I still have about a good 9 to 10 seats left in the ArcMasters trading course. Definitely find the email in the description below. Send me an email and we'll get that started up for you, right? And yes, we need the quick time thingy thing right here. Get that out of the way and get that SPY video going, right? So let me and then get this going for us, right? So all right, let's do it. And now What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is Arca coming at you with a SPY, technicals and raw price action threat of analysis on this happy Monday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called Arca Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, so yes, we are looking at SPY on the 3-day chart. If, you know, just to kind of give everybody the heads up here and the update. We've been saying this over and over and over, but it's important because we're still within that same thing, right? So yes, we still got that music rolling, right? Thank you so much for letting me know in the comments. This is being recorded live, right? So we'll just dim that down just a bit and get this SPY moving, guys. Okay, so yes, we do have two broadening descending wedges right over here. And as you can see, the smaller broadening descending wedge has almost fulfilled its entire move to the upside. Per the playbook, okay? Per the playbook, these broadening descending wedges tend to realize their true objective on the genesis of the formation. So if you can see, the price action today came up to about right up here in the H, right? It came up to, let's see, that was a high of about 415.09. Okay, so our target, the target that we're looking for, is 417.02. Even still, okay, it's a critical inflection point down here that we expressed. A very deep importance of not breaking below it, right? So we got a good CPI read. We got a little bit of a read on that core CPI, but sentiment still believes that the upside is more probable, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at some momentum indicators here and see if we can actually gauge a potential for the coming days, okay? So now on the 3-day time frame, we are showing a little bit of weakness here, but I do like that we still have that 3-day exponential moving average pivoted straight to the upside in that gravitational zone. Definitely getting an idea here for an upside thrust. Okay, so let's continue on the analysis here, as I would like to actually take a look at the RSI starting from the 30-minute time frame to see if we have any potentials coming in for the coming day, right? So it looks like already the 30-minute is showing a little tiny bit of weakness, but please remember that when you're stepping into this, let me just zoom in just a little bit more, right? When you're coming down into this zone here, that is the gravitational zone, and facing a support from the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile and the 14-day simple, very likely we can use it as a support and bounce. Okay, so now let's go to that bi-hourly time frame and see what we have. Okay, so bi-hourly time frame, a little bit of consolidation here, but I must mention that the stochastics are facing or pivoted straight to the upside in the bullish control zone, and please notice that this is also in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile. Okay, we still have that 14-day simple moving average below us just in case of anything. And yeah, so now let me show you the volatility. Okay, volatility is still within critical contraction, and upside is still very much more likely than not, at least in the shorter time frame. But let's keep on gathering these puzzles and see what else we got. Okay, so now the 6-hour time frame on the on the RSI is still showing a little bit of consolidation. Okay, so now what I do like is at least we're starting to get a little bit of a correctional pivot here, lying within the gravitational zone of the bullish control zone. So very likely this can actually face a correction very soon, and this is still giving me the idea that there may be a pop to the upside to eventually realize that 417.02. Okay, so 12-hour time frame. Let's see what it's got. So 12-hour time frame looks like it's going to be facing some type of resistance or rejection or an ebb and flow here. Okay, we could be facing a little bit of a wave before a continuation onto that upside. Also notice here that the RSI is still a little bit in consolidation. The only thing I can think of that has us a little pensive could be the fact that we have the jobless claims coming up on Thursday. Okay, so I'm not sure that can move the markets a whole lot. You know, I mean, particularly the CPI, like that really moves the markets, right? And and the core CPI does too. But I'm not sure how much the jobless claims could move the markets, but they are coming up on Thursday. Okay, so definitely keep an eye on those macroeconomic data releases. Okay, so that it could be a reason. But moving on into the daily time frame, we definitely have an upside pivot from that RSI. We absolutely have an upside pivot from that EMA3 in the stochastic momentum. Of course, it looks like we're kind of matured in this target here. So if I were to be honest, you guys, there could be a pretty substantial pullback from that 417.02 target. to either come back down to our range lows of about 408.85 to about 406.81 before a bounce, and then we could actually see what the SPY has for us. Okay, it's very hard to be able to tell what's going on here, but the upper time frames are all kind of matured within that stochastic upside. Okay, the upper time frames still have that upside, so we'll just keep an eye on it, guys. I still have my eye on that 417.02. So, but yeah, I think that's a pretty good place for me to leave off the video. Please remember to visit the description, the description below for you to find Twitter and Discord. And please remember to sign up to the ArcMasters trading course, as there are still about 10 or 11 seats. But with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios. All right, you guys, thank you so much for that. We got that SPY ticker out of the way, right? So we definitely want to, let's see, what do we have next on the list? Of course, we still got Aiden Davis. What's up, my bro? So now we got GTII on the list, right? You guys, we got to get that out of the way as well. We'll get that recorded too and uploaded. But what's up, my chat? Very, very excited to be streaming today, you guys. I love that everybody came by. I hope that the voice is coming in clear. I hope that there's no glitches. I hope that you're able to do everything here, right, you guys? So Mr. Levitt said, cut. Let's do it one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do it a couple times actually. I wanna cover GTII now, right? I already have it prepared too. So let's see. Yeah, it looks like I do have it ready to go. All right, so let's go ahead and repeat that process again and get that GTII ticker out of the way, right? Samantha H saying that it's all clear. Thank you so much for paying attention to that, Sam. You know how things can sometimes be, right? So, but yes, let me go ahead and press a new recording here and get that thing moving. Make sure that it goes to the desktop and not to that QuickTime Player save, right? It gets a little ridiculous sometimes. So let's give it about 4 seconds and I will get this thing started once again. GTII showing some signs of strength. Okay, so I think that the momentum indicators are actually pivoted to the upside for a good reason. Let's go ahead and validate now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is Arca coming at you with a GTII technicals, raw price action, and statistical threat of analysis on this happy Monday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called Arca Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, GTII on the 4-hour chart here. Please remember, you guys, that we still have that mean below us at 156. It looks like we're still moving onwards and upwards from it, right? I want you to notice something very detailed here, though. Notice how the expansion from the Bollinger Bands are actually starting to pivot towards the upside, right? That's literally expansion. So that usually is indicative of a continuation of a price action. So if we are on an uptrend, then that could be telling us that the continuation for that uptrend is kind of what we're looking for here, okay? So, or indicative of it, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the next chart to see what we have for GTII. Okay, so this is that massively speculative back test of mine, right? That very test that I am actually calling about a $10 target with a 971% move to the upside. Just in case nobody or somebody is not clear on what that means, here's the context, right? So anytime that volatility has expanded into the 90 percentile or within, into 90% or within the 90 percentile and started a contraction phase towards the downside, I have paired that with stochastic momentum, particularly to the upside pivot for an upside statistical value. Now, anytime that has happened, I have taken into account, let me just go ahead and get this a little lower, right? So I have taken into account the upside thrust, right? The duration of the iteration, and the amount of times that volatility versus momentum have guessed that upside correctly and incorrectly. Okay, so that gives all of these are the samples, right, from the from the entire trading history of GTII. Of course, here's that weird little effery, right? You have that little dinosaur suggesting that that's the beginning of the trading. Of course, it is not. You guys have seen several videos where I actually did an adjustment because they didn't have the rest of the data from the beginning of the trading for the GTII asset. So luckily for us, I still have all of those notes written down. So just refer back to about a week ago and you'll be able to see all of the iterations here full with price action and my notes, right? So very curious that not all of the timeframes are being shown to us as a complete trading history, but but we did gather our data and we absolutely have it here for our advantage, right? So with that said, anytime that volatility versus momentum condition has been met, we have actually completed a total of 31 iterations, guessing 21 of those correctly to the upside, giving us an upside accuracy of about 67.74% with a massive upside thrust of 971.33% over the span of about 22 and a half days. Remember, guys, that this is just a statistic, okay? It is just a mean. It is not meant for us to take it as a certainty whatsoever. The reason why I'm mentioning this backtest once again is because, just like I mentioned in the last video, stochastic momentum seems to be pivoting towards that upside again. So let's just go ahead and zoom into this. This is the line that I left here so that we can continue studying it, okay? So this is essentially what I'm expecting, and please notice that we're getting that cross of the 3-day exponential moving average over the 14-day simple moving average, okay? This is essentially what I'm looking for. All right, so let's keep an eye on this because this is a 3-day chart, okay? So it does take about 3 days for every candle to kind of complete, right? So this is why you get a lot of people very impatient with me and saying, well, you said it was going to go to $463 trillion. Why isn't it going there yet, right? I mean, it is a 3-day chart, right? So it kind of takes forever to get one candle to finish, right? And we need structure and candle formation in order for us to see what the price action is indicating for a future event, right? So let's move on to the next chart here. And yes, guys, this is, and yet again, another chart that doesn't have the complete data for us, right? As it's completing right over here at around 2014. That is very much false. Definitely not what it's supposed to be, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at this, okay? Please notice that anytime that we have crossed upside of the Gaussian channel's mean and come back to test it, there has been a pretty substantial upside to follow that, right? So, for example, here, right, we break it and we have that upside, just a massive upside, right? So I know they don't look like huge upsides, you guys, but if we're breaking from this area, I can just give you a quick idea as to what that is. Please notice it just like this, okay? So go ahead and notice that this upside move to this top side wick here was about a 300% move to the upside. So that's, that's not bad at all. And, claiming the inside of the mean band again, and then breaking upside of it again, at least with one candle. Let me just show you what that is. Okay, so that is about a 100% move to the upside. And the only reason I'm showing you these tiny little iterations is because I don't have the rest of the trading history. But on average, we're getting about a 300% move to the upside upon closing above of that mean band. Here's one back test that I did. This is another back test that I did that are showing those 300% moves, right? So this is why I'm mentioning it. Please notice that the bi-weekly Gaussian has closed. I'm sorry. We have closed one iteration upside of it, and we're continuing our way up to that. Okay, the top side of this band is looking at about $2.34. Of course, I'm not saying that we're going there. I'm just saying that that's the top side of the band where we often find resistance. And I mean, momentum and the price action is essentially suggesting a continuation to the upside. Okay, so now here's the this is actually particular to a 6-hour move, of which we can actually refer to that now. Let's go ahead and get that thing loaded. We still have the EMA 3 above the EMA 14, so this is still good. Okay, the only thing is that I'm noticing there's just a little bit of a kink there, but that doesn't always fulfill as a weakness, right? And also sometimes we can face some type of little pause before a continuation onto the upside, just like this, right? It could be that type of thing, just like we've been talking about, guys, for days and days and days, right? So particular to the 6-hour backtest, we have 30 iterations throughout the entire trading history of it, right? So this particular backtest was very, very conditional, though. This is not from the critical area. I am backtesting this from the 80 to 90% expansion, meaning from 80 to 90% of volatility, then a contraction phase paired with the stochastics upside, right? So that gave us a pretty interesting backtest, and the upside actually happened right after we read that, right? So 30 iterations, of which 22 were guessed correctly to the upside, 73% upside accuracy with a 98.06% upside thrust, right? So upon that 98% touch, we have moved on. Well, I mean, let's see. in total, we've already done like about almost 37%, right? Currently sitting at about 30, almost 31%. 90 would take us to about $2.67, which is very similar to the Gaussian channel top here, right? So around 234. So that's suggesting an upside continuation as well. Okay, so the other perspective I had to show you guys was a descending channel. Okay, so descending channels are usually, well, now actually after this bear market cycle, they're indicative of a continuation to the upside or reversal pivot. And we do have the appropriate tests and everything. So we are upside. We have a 5-day closure. Very important for us to close that 5-day closure above the newly converted resistance into support. And now still suggesting a continuation to the upside. The 5-day iteration still has 2 days and 20 hours to close. Yes, an eternity away, but we are still looking very good here. Okay, you guys. So let's go ahead and try to close this off. This is the chop box that we were looking at, guys, right? The bounce from the downside that we were looking at. I was saying around 122, the bottom side, right? But we, in fact, got that bounce from the lower end of 118. Goodness gracious, Arca was entirely wrong. Please, please, somebody fire that guy. All right, so we got that upside move to the top side, of which I did mention was a very, very, very heavy resistance for us to kind of succeed here. Okay, you guys. So I just want you to know that the succession above this 180 is very critical. We absolutely need to break upside of this and convert it into an area of support before continuing on to that upside. It is of incredible importance that we beat this inflection point. The next inflection point that I would actually have to give you would, in fact, be around $2.57. And then the most obvious one was, of course, from the move where I was talking to you from 47 cents all the way up to the 298. I literally remember giving that the tweet. I was like, guys, we met 298. Now I'm going to go to sleep. I'll see you later. Like, everybody thought we were going to continue on to the upside, but no, that's not it. It's just the move was... it was succeeded right to the area we were looking for. Huge inflection point there. Then we retraced. We're starting to reaccumulate again. So we have to keep an eye on these closures. Okay, these are very important. They're psychological points here. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we have in the last part of the analysis. And this is essentially what I'm telling you about GTII having an upside kind of bias here, right? So if we are looking at the RSI 30-minute immediate short term, there could be a little bit of a loading zone for the straggling bulls, right? So whoever hasn't gained that position may very well see it in the very, very early session, potentially tomorrow. And I'm really talking about early session, as I do see an upside continuation here after about the first 2 hours of trading. Okay, so jumping in the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we still have an upside pivot here and starting to correct. Upside pivot on that 14-day simple. Please notice the 14-day simple on that 8-hour time frame, upside pivot, and the signal to the upside as well. Okay, so now we're looking at the 12-hour, still with an upside pivot, finally crossed upside of that 14-day simple moving average, very bullish. And now jumping into the upper time frames, please notice what's happening right now. Okay, we have that RSI signal jumping upside of that 14-day simple moving average, suggesting even yet another continuation to the upside. And we looked at this the last time, guys. We looked at this on, I think, Friday, right? So please notice that the RSI signal is now at right at the center. We were right down here earlier. I'm talking about Friday. So now we're actually right at the junction. Guys, this is very likely to continue on to the upside. Now, the thrust behind it, of course, it has a lot to do with the sentiment and the psychology behind GTII, but the upside signal is there, and actually momentum is telling us that there is a continuation of it starting effective tomorrow. So, I mean, I'm not going to... actually, it's not even me. I'm not even telling you like based on my opinion. It's just the math is the math, and it's actually suggesting us to continue on to the upside, right? So it's telling us it doesn't matter what I think or what I believe, if I care about the company or not. It really doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It's just the math is telling us what it is, right, you guys? So I think this is a pretty good place for me to leave off the video. Please remember to find the Gmail in the description below to sign up for the ArcMasters trading course, as I still have about 10 or 11 seats available. Twitter and Discord links will be included down there as well. So, but yeah, with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios. Thank you so much, guys. That was now GTII. We're gonna go ahead and log that in so we can have it uploaded a little bit later tonight. What's up, Ann? What's up, BBJ? Good to see you guys here. James, what's up? Sebastian Lim, NOGN, of course, my dude. Thank you so much for your dono. We'll definitely take a look at that ticker and we'll get it out of the way for sure, my bro. All right, so let me go ahead and take a look at this list and see what we got. So yeah, actually, why don't we jump into that ticker NOGN now, you guys? So we already have out of the way the broader markets, right? We have the SPY and GTII, big chillin'. We'll try to get to VIRI as well, my dude. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on the analysis right now, and we'll look at NOGN, right? So NOGN, what time is it right now? 5:55? There we go. All right, so let me go ahead and put that down right now on my notes and get this thing rolling. All right, so moderator Sebastian Lim suggesting NOGN as well as a bunch of other people. Is it actually, guys, answer this for me right now. Chat, please let me know. Is NOGN, why is this popping up? Is this something that, is this like an influencer that they're bringing it up, or is it just like a scan, or why is NOGN being talked about a bunch? I've noticed it now a few times in this chat here. A lot of people want to look at it. Aiden David, COEP. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to try to get to it, my dude. I'm not sure that I'll have the time, but you know that you and I will look at it together regardless in private. Okay, my dude. So please remember that I did say that. Okay, and also remind me. So Biana M saying it's a bag. What? No way. Okay. All right. But who mentioned it though? Like who? It's not mentioned by any influencers. Rocket Lock, what's up, man? Thank you so much for that. Very excited to see you here. All right, guys. So Mr. Levitz is saying the guy Sebastian Lim has been pumping it. Sebastian Lim, you're being accused of being a pumper. Oh man. Yeah, right, Aiden. Yeah, man. We'll definitely take a look at it. There's a lot of people asking me about COEP too, right? But I got to follow this schedule as soon as I could. Biana, what is 13D? Is that the influencer himself? Stick Vicious, what's up, my battle? Good to see you, man. I actually just covered GTII and we got the SPY out of the way. I recorded them so that we can load them right after the live stream, right, my dude? So I'm actually trying to be, very sharp on both ends right here to, be how can I say it? As productive as I can be, right? So, man, of course, Mr. Levis, we know you're joking, man. All right, so yeah. Biana saying they filed it's a 13D filing. Got it. M9 saying REVB, please, not verb. Of course, REVB sounds like reverb. I know, man. I know. I hear the entire music ability in your typing, man. I was curious when I typed it in, and in fact, it does exist. Right? Check it out. Revelation Biosciences. So when you said REVB, I'm like, okay, well, it makes sense because this is bioscience, and that's we're all kind of looking at things like that. So, yeah, man, no problem. So I got you, man. I got you. But yeah, REVB. It's up anyway, right? I got the gist of it early on, man. But yeah, nonetheless, it's still there, so we're good. Riza, what's up? Oh, okay, gotcha. So yes, I do have that in the list, actually, in my written list. For some reason, I didn't put it up here in the. Oh yeah, I did, but I don't know where the hell it is. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. It's up here, actually. Man, it's right after NOGN. My dude Riza coming through, man. I love you, bro. Thank you for coming by. So anyway, guys, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get this ticker started. And I'm going to adjust the time, right? So from when we started it. So that's going to be 5:59 p.m. And now we can go ahead and get this thing looked at. All right. So NOGN on the daily. It looks like we already have a pretty nice setup happening, right? So usually what we look for, based on volatility, which is represented by this indicator BBWP, and well, remember that it's just volatility is direction neutral, right? So only because this is going down doesn't mean price action is going down. It's just telling us that there's a contraction phase from volatility, and from the downside to the upside, it means that there's an expansion phase from volatility, right? So what we usually do to pair to pair the volatility to give us a bias for a price action is actually stochastic momentum. Okay, so momentum-based indicators would essentially give us that bias. So please notice that the daily stochastics are giving us an upside pivot here. Okay, so what I would really love to see is in fact the leading indicator, which would be the 3-period exponential moving average represented by the yellow line pivoted a little more aggressively than the 14. That would be ideal. Okay, so I really would like for that to kind of fit into condition first. All right, so if that can actually succeed or realize, then I would show more conviction for an upside, but it doesn't mean that it can't be in another time frame. Please notice right over here that yes, there is a little bit of slowing down from the 14-day simple moving average, but remember, as I say this often, okay, the 14-day simple moving average is reliant upon the influence from the shorter period time frame moving average, right? So the EMA 3, it is an exponential, so it's already following the price action a bit closer than a simple moving average and that of a simple 14 period. Okay, so this is still suggesting an upside continuation even on the 12-hour, okay? So now, as you can see on the 8-hour, we have that weakness on that 14-day, but we still have that upside on that EMA 14. Similar situation here, right? So we had that downside on the 14, and then the EMA continued onto the upside, and then the 14 got influenced to the upside, right? So it's indicative of a faster moving time frame. Mark Roach, good to see you, my brother. Very good to see you here, Moderator Mark. So, so let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here, guys, because there could be indications of a continuation to the upside, but not particular to the shorter time frames. In fact, the shorter time frames are allowing a potential entry or a type of get long zone, right? So let's kind of take that into consideration now. Load up some moving averages and see the shorter time frames to see if that could be a potential for us, right? So let's go to the 30-minute, have our RSI up, and I'm going to get rid of the DMI for now as it's not pertinent to what we're doing. Okay, so 30-minute immediate short-term time frame, stochastics upside, but we have a little bit of consolidation with an upside pivot on that 14-day simple. I don't think that that's going to be the one just yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the bi-hourly and see what we have. Bi-hourly time frame is suggesting a continuation to the upside, but there is a little bit of resistance. We still have a downside pivot, but weakening on that bi-hourly from the stochastics. What that can mean is that there could be a drop to about the 200-day simple moving average at about 241 before a continuation to the upside, meaning that this 14-day simple moving average could be very much in line with the EMA, with the SMA 10, right, or slightly above it, which could be this candle here at about 269 before facing a retracement and then reaccumulating for a continuation onto the upside, which could happen within 1-2 hour candle. Okay, so Mark Roach, I will certainly try to get that in. Okay, so ATXI is on there now. Let me just put it. Okay, perfect. So now, let me continue here with NOGN and see what we have as at least as the upper time frames start to stack, right? Okay, so now the 6-hour time frame could be indicative of a continuation to the upside based on that bounce that we're talking about in the bi-hourly, right? So back down to about $2.40 or 241. After a rejection from about 269, right? So this 6-hour iteration is actually showing us that that could very well be the case. As you can see, we're using the 14-day simple as a form of support before continuing on to the upside. Okay, so it's already bouncing to the upside, so this is already kind of a good sign. Now let's look. Destiny, you sold at 99 cents today? Damn, wait, on a loss or on a win? I hope you actually got that win. Now, please notice this 12-hour time frame. We have that EMA 3 pivoted towards the upside, finding that support from that 14-day simple. And this is still kind of Destiny, you're saying at a loss. That really, really sucks. I don't remember. Did I cover this the last time too, or did I miss it? I am so sorry about that. But yeah, you guys, so the thing is that it looks like it's also moving a bit slower. So now let me move up to the upper time frames, because the upper time frames, it's really kind of showing a lot. Sebastian, this bi-daily candle does not look too good. Okay, so that's oh man. It's like, I mean, this is ridiculous. Okay, I don't want it to become something very bearish. The thing is that this wick down here is a little longer than I would like. It's very shooting starish. You know what I mean? Which would be indicative of a continuation to the downside. But let me look at the upper time frames. Okay, so this is looking a little better, right? So the 3-day time frame is showing a pretty bullish candle. Okay, let me go to the 5-day and macro time frames. 5-day, okay, 2 days and 19 hours. That's very lucky. I would have told you get out now. Let's see the weekly. The weekly still has 3 days away. Okay, so everything is kind of waiting on the upper time frames to kind of close, right? So if this is going to make a pop to the upside, it would probably do it because sentiment wanted to and not really because of any other reason, unless there's a pumper behind it, right? So market cap sitting at about 8.17 mil. The float is at 3.3 mil, so it's very, very dangerous to trade this one. But and let me see the average moving... the average volume on a 10-day period. So the average volume is not too bad, actually. It's a 5.45 million. And actually, let me see if I can pop it up here in the scanner since we are, it's just after 6. Let me see if I'll get it. Hold on. So NOGN, yeah, I'm not getting it right now. Damn it. Yeah, definitely not. Damn it. Whatever. Okay. But yeah, man, I think that this is going to reaccumulate for a bit before it can actually make an upside. The shorter time frame price action, I'm still going to stand by it, but the continuation to the upside, like I said, it would be indicative from the closures of the upper time frames because they are showing a potential upside. Okay, so this thing actually just split too. On January 20th, January 20th, March 29th, it actually did a 1-to-20 split. Man, and let's see the earnings. Okay, so there are really no earnings misses or anything like that. So the asset is not bad, dude. It has one earnings beat, right? Recent one, and the earnings coming up in, I think, May. Right. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I do like that it has upside suggestions. Right. Still a significant amount of resistances all over the place. But if we do get that upside thrust from the buy daily and from the 3-day, then a very, very heavy resistance at around 401, which could be the junction between these two candles here, could be that potential take profit here, as I do not see any signs or anything that could suggest a reversal to the upside as a macro pivot, right? So be very careful and always remember that what's already floored can actually floor more, okay? So never anticipate this to be, the absolute floor here, okay? So let's just go ahead and finish off with that ticker symbol, NOGN, and continue on the analysis. Now, for my buddy Riza, we're going to take a look at that ticker. What was it again? Ticker symbol VERB, right? So let me just refer to the chat just a little bit here and see what we have, okay? So Aiden, let's see. Aiden saying, oh, was that to me? I have to go. Oh, okay, Aiden, be safe, be well, take care, my dude. And we will talk a little bit later, okay? So, yeah, guys, let's go ahead and try to kind of breeze by these, kind of make some things happen here, right? Because I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to continue these the later ticker pickers, right? As I'm going to start moving the schedule into the during market hours, as I would really like to focus on some trading, you guys, okay? So actually, whoa, let me see this down here. Nice. I just can't, I don't know when this 3-day iteration is going to close, but if we, and I honestly don't know that I can see that. Let me see. It doesn't show me on the SPY. Let me see on CLNV if it shows me the 3-day. Where are you, 3-day? I usually look at 3-day often, right? So 3 days here. It's not showing me the damn closure. Got it. This is another reason why I wish that I can just do this during the regular hours. The reason why I'm mentioning, guys, is because there's a big bullish engulfing here on the 3-day. And if it is closed, that would be highly ideal for a continuation to the upside. So, it had a good report today upon the after hours, right? So Verb reports record breaking. Okay, good. So it is moving on. It is moving on a catalyst. Hold on, guys. I think somebody just threw something at my window. Just a sec. All right. I mean, it is technically after school. I'm not sure if some kids are just messing around outside, but I didn't see nothing. All right. I didn't say, I guess my tutor wanted to dish me, so I'm here, you guys. What's up, my bro? All right, anyway, you guys, so yeah, let me just note here that we're going to be starting ticker symbol VERB, and that is at 6:09 p.m., right? So let's go ahead and try to get this thingy out of the way, right? So yes, like I said, guys, it would be highly ideal if we did close this 3-day iteration here, as we do have a very nice bullish engulfing. So a bullish engulfing happens when the forward candle in a green structure engulfs the red structure of the prior print, right? So in this case, very, very, very big suggestion for an upside, right? So this is, you know what? I don't practice candle formations all too much, but this is let me get my arrows here. This is also another bullish formation, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I will look into that. But remember, these formations on candles, they don't always serve the best indicator for a continuation to the upside, right? So Arca, when are you going to start in the days would be great. So I'm actually looking, if I can, I'm not kidding, it's going to be this week, potentially into maybe Wednesday. But I will update everybody on that for sure, okay? But yeah, like I was saying, guys, there is a potential that this is a very bullish setup paired with, as well, a bullish engulfing. Okay, so let's go ahead and validate or confirm or see if there's anything that can indicate a potential reversal here for us, okay? Other than the fact that we have some upper time frames, very nice candle structure, whatever. All right, let's see. Let me move down to the buy daily to see if we have any. Okay, so yes, we in fact do. Okay, so the buy daily, which could be closed, is also showing a bullish engulfing here. Okay, so this is yet again a very nice setup, and please notice stochastics. We're starting to get that upside pivot here on that EMA 7 and the SMA 14 while sitting in, we're actually dropping into critical levels of contraction from volatility, right? So in order for us to validate a continuation to the upside, then there must be a condition met here. Okay, so we absolutely want to see this. We want to make sure that we can see the volatility component from the BBWP indicator kind of flat itself out or stay all the way in this critical contraction. But it would be best if we can actually start pivoting towards the upside. Then we can actually start to get ourselves out of the critical zone, which is the 15th percentile, right? And also have the moving average pivoted towards that upside as well. Okay, so the condition is this: we must have this happening. Okay, even if it's the moving average below the volatility component, we want both of them upside of the 15th percentile. It would be ideal, at least. At the most, the 15th percentile. We can start validating this upside of the 10% too. But this condition here paired with stochastics pivoted towards the upside. So it's already happening. We just want to make sure that these conditions can meet as well for a huge continuation to the upside. Okay, so let me move on to the to the daily, as very likely we can actually see an upside there as well. So there you go. So now let me look at volatility here on the daily, as it is starting to make its pivot closer and closer to that 15%, right? So as soon as we do get this upside here, it's very likely going to continue. Now, the fact that we're getting these stronger pivots to the upside based on smaller time frames, that means that we're going to start to see the 12-hour, the 8-hour, and the 6-hour with a more primed setup for an upside. So 12-hour now, let's see. So let's see. There we go. So the 12-hour has now moved upside of the critical zone, and we have both of the EMA 3 and the SMA 14 in the bullish control zone. Okay, so that usually is indicative of a pretty nice move to the upside. From my experience at this point, if I were the one trading this ticker, then I would already start to look at backtesting volatility versus momentum throughout the entire trading history of it, all the way leading up to where we are now, right? So anytime that volatility has contracted to those critical levels beyond 15%, I would start taking notes like these, right? So like right here, right? This would be another one right over here. This is another one right over here because we went down to that area, right? This is another one right over here. And after doing this over and over and over, then I would actually start to see which ones were actually guessed correctly to an upside and which ones were guessed incorrectly to the downside, right? Then I would measure the thrust, the duration, all that good stuff, right? And then we would actually have all the samples done. It'll give us that the overall statistical value for a data set, and then we can make our math to get the probabilities to the upside, right? But this is more than likely going to continue to the upside in the upper time frames. Let me look now on the 8 hour. Okay, 8 hour already making that very bullish cross to the upside. We have both of the moving averages in that bullish control zone, very likely going to continue here. 4 hour time frame. Let's see. Showing a little bit of a pivot here. I don't really agree with these pivots so much. This could be very short-lived. It could be something like this, right? Before a continuation. We are getting closer to that gravitational zone from the bull strength percentile. So this is good, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, the bullish control zone from stochastics, okay? So it is looking good nonetheless. I would like to see my RSI now and move on to the 30-minute time frame. We'll get that overall bias. Okay, so RSI. Okay, it is a corrective pivot towards the upside. There's still upside to look at here. Okay, now historically speaking, we have a very recent. Let's see, this was a Monday, January 23rd, and it actually went up to about 89%. We're currently sitting at about 74, so it still has some pretty nice upside to go, even in the immediate short term. Okay, so. And now as we're starting to move into the bi-hourly, yes, of course, it's getting a little overextended. I don't like this pivot here, but the thing is that this would be, oh man, okay, I think it would be this pivot right here. And yeah, it is actually. Okay, so this is where it's starting to get a little dangerous. Okay, so it's now the technicals and the systematic traders are going to start battling the discretionary retail investors, meaning FOMO. Okay, so from this area here, since we do have a pivot facing down there, we do have a drive of hidden bearish divergence, right? So actually not this one here. It would be, let me see, I'll give you one. Sorry, yeah, it's actually this one right here. So let me just go ahead and correct it. And it would be indicative of making a higher high in the top side of the RSI or momentum and making a lower high in the price action, right? So that, let me get rid of the top one right here. There are several drives actually. So, I mean, there's one right there, another one right here. It looks like this, yeah, this one right over here as well, which is, yeah, this pivot right here. There's a lot of them, you guys. So these are going to be stacking, okay? So the only thing that's kind of keeping me away from telling you that it is in fact a validated drive of bearish divergence is this, that it's very it's a very small pivot. I would really like to see this a little bit lower, and that would be a validation of it. But this is already indicative of a continuation to the downside on the bi-hourly. Okay, so now the 6 hour, let's see if we even have that type of 6 hour, still suggesting moonshot over here. Okay, so it could be very short-lived. And the 12-hour time frame barely entering the bull strength percentile. So if I'm going to be very honest with you, the upper targets here, and they could continue to the upside following into tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to give you two very obvious targets. First of all, let's take it from our fibs. Okay, so let's do it just like this. Okay, from the range, I'm going to do it from the prior range high to the range low, right? So, sorry, all the way to the range low. Okay, so the price action actually stopped right perfectly at that 3.618. Right, so now we know that we're following a geometric thing, and we're finding some support from the 2.618. Okay, so if we were to continue on to the upside, what I mean by obvious target, oh yeah, thanks Sebastian. I noticed that BBBY actually made that upside. I told everybody, and everybody telling me no, you don't know nothing, right? But it went there. So, but yeah, so I would honestly think that we can retrace just a little bit in the immediate short-term time frame, potentially 1430 to 1384 reload, another touch to either close. Okay, this is where it gets tricky. Okay, we would either close this very close to the 1657, which could honestly be the 3.272 at 1599. Or we can actually make one more thrust to fulfill the 4.236 at 62 pertaining to all of this resistance here and all of these candles resisting. Okay, so that would be my overall take profit for this. Okay, so if the sentiment so decides, or the psychology so decides to take it there, right, just like this, and I'll draw you again the other range. Okay, just like this. This is what I would be seeing, but I mean, with this kind of crazy price action, anything's possible. But I mean, and also remember in CXAI, I expressed that it was such a speculative target to give you like $8 from $1.60, as that was 500% up already, right? So sometimes they're visible, sometimes they're not, right? But in my personal opinion here, there are a lot of areas to kind of combat here, right? So that's why I'm telling you that the more obvious target would actually be the 3-spot 272, followed by retracement first, 3-spot 272 resistance. If we're gonna face the resistance, they're expected back to 1488 at the 2-spot 618. Bounce to the upside, and then we could do this. But that bounce to the upside after the 2-spot 618 doesn't always happen. So keep an eye on your profits, okay? Make sure to take them while they're there. All right, so that's going to do it for ticker symbol VERB. And let's go ahead and continue on to the next one, you guys. So I actually do have to touch down on two very important tickers that there has been a lot of questions for, right? So let's go ahead and move on to ticker symbol COSM and try to get this thing rolling, right? So everybody, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for streaming here or actually chilling here with me streaming, right? We're getting our prep for tomorrow. So also, guys, I want you to make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm just going to load up a couple things for COSM. I'm not going to be able to record this one because I can see that I don't have anything prepared for it. So whatever. Okay, so let's see. At least I can actually give a bias from the RSI, since I do have the RSI at least kind of grouped together here, right? So let's see. All right, so man. Okay, so COSM. Oh, so pretty much. So COSM like did nothing today. Is that the case? I haven't actually seen COSM today, but it looks like it stayed stagnant. Let me go back into this chart here and see what we have. Riza saying VERB is my long position. My average is way higher than current price. Oh, damn, no. We'll keep an eye on it, man. But if it moves into that target that I told you, that's already kind of... I know that you're saying way higher, right? But geez, if it moves up to the targets that I'm talking to you about, then that would be, let's see, from the current price action, an additional 8%. But if it actually does the 4-spot 236, then you're looking at an additional 19%. So recovering 19%. That, I mean, I don't want to tell you to get out, right? Because like there is still a potential for an upside continuation. Monster Mike, you are the very man, the man himself, the prodigy. Thank you, my bro. I love you. We're learning things here. I appreciate you, my dude. Thank you so much for your donation. COSM on the after hours, 1.84% to the upside, huh? So yeah, that's that doesn't sound like it's very quiet. Yeah, this. Oh my goodness, it's very it's doing nothing right now, right? But what is interesting is that we are now moving upside of the moving average on the 5. This is the 5-day, right? So this is the 5-day volatility versus momentum, and you can see that we're now upside of the moving average, which could be indicative of something coming in. Okay, so there's some type of lift in volatility here. Okay, and another thing to notice here is that if you can look very closely at the DMI, you can see that we're starting to get a slight kind of pitch here, right? And the ADX is sitting at a very healthy 34%. Anytime that the ADX is 25% and up, that would usually favor or give market trend to the current leaders. And right now the leaders are the bulls, right? So it's very curious that we're getting that signal there too. So which could be indicative of something coming. And I'm not sure if that's going to be tomorrow or whatever, but as the price action would would really like for the price action to move a little more, right? So I can't just kind of wave a magic wand here and understand that it would make an upside. But I can look at some other metrics. Okay, so let me just look at the right angle triangle that we've been looking at for quite some time. Okay, so already, guys, this is a very good sign. This is a daily candle. Wait. So we actually did make a move all the way to 335, bounce back to 390, and you're saying that we're up 184, right? So that's $3.20 opposed to the closure of about 319. What I am noticing here is that man, could it actually be though? This is it. I mean, it could be an inverted hammer, right? So the inverted hammer here could be a signal for. That's right, Aiden. You caught it, buddy. So it could be a signal for a continuation to the upside. Okay, so if this formation was actually put up here, then this would actually be more of a gravestone, right? But this is indicative of a continuation to the upside in the daily. Okay, so it has some. It does have some weight to it. Okay, so let me just go to the RSI and see what could be coming. All right, 30 minutes, immediate short-term time frame. That's showing a little bit of resistance. But if we can succeed it would be in the likings of this. There would be the gravitational zone from the bear weakness percentile. That can take us to the upside, but if it does, the 4 hour is actually facing resistance very soon, and so is the 8 hour. So what I'm basically saying here is that if this faces the upside, it can actually be resisted from the 14, but if it's not resisted from the 14, it could be resisted from the gravitational zone of the bull weakness. And if that actually doesn't get resisted, then the 4 hour would make it face the resistance and come back down, right? So in short, what I'm saying is that there should be another consolidation day, sideways trading for COSM on the next trading day. All right, you guys, so I'm going to leave COSM right there and move on to the next one and see what we have, okay? So let me just write the freaking note over here because I'm just the best at writing notes all the time. All right, so let me make a quick decision here because next on the list is actually CLNV. But what I mean by a quick decision is and also let me what the heck? Let me just pull up. I wanted to know, guys. Do you know where? Sometimes I don't have the actual data, but CLNV. Where did we close? I do notice that sometimes there's a discrepancy in price action, but CLNV doesn't have any after hours, right? Mark Roach saying ATXI. Yes, absolutely, my dude. We definitely have that coming up. CLNV. I will have it right over here. Okay, so ATXI, I cannot forget. Oh, damn. Look at you, bro. There was. This is dangerous. Okay, but guys, please let me know. Please let me know where CLNV closed if you're able to see it. I'm gonna load up. Let's see. Let's load up Weeble and see what it has for us, right? All kinds of platforms always close in different places too, so whatever. VIRI, man, I really feel like I should put out a dedicated video instead of a live on that one, buddy. And I could actually record it right after this. But let's see. Oh, damn. Yeah, BBBY did make that upside. Very nice. I didn't even notice, by the way. I just say things are going to do things, and then I just go to sleep. A lot of the times I'm not trading anything that I give to you guys. Off-Grid Gorilla, what's up? 44 cents, Mr. Levitz is saying for CLMV, right? So I turned off my Wi-Fi on my phone, and it's really spotty service up here, right? So I am getting a closure of 46. You see what I mean? There's mad discrepancy. So CLNV, for me, the closure was 441. And yeah, 441. Man, we have 3 different freaking targets. Close at 441, says XX. All right. Double X, thank you so much for that, man. And let's see. Let me see what the RSI is saying. No. Okay. There is an upside continuation here, but it's very much indicative of facing a resistance yet again from this falling wedge. Okay, so again, we may face this exact situation again tomorrow with CLMV. And I am being very short with this just because we're running short in time, right? But CLNV still has a resistance touch both on the 4-hour, the 8-hour, and it looks like the daily could be the one that takes us as far up as the wedge bottom, right? So again, to that top side of about 519, we could face tomorrow, right? So I'm not sure what they're going through here, but there are signals that are suggesting a potential continuation to the upside, right? So printing candles like this after getting a bullish candle, after a downtrend, that's not always the best thing to kind of look at, right? So at least in other iterations, historically speaking, it looks like we have done things like that, right? Where we're wicking like crazy, and the shorts are actually trying to suppress that. But to be very honest with you, I honestly don't like to see it myself. Okay, so I would rather see the wicks to the downside for an upside continuation, like wicks downside, right? Like these longer wicks to the downside so that we can validate a potential move to the upside. I don't like it when we start to see wicks to the upside, at least for the long perspective. Okay, so I'm thinking that this could actually face yet again another touch into the 5-cent zone tomorrow. Okay, so please keep an eye on your longs for CLNV, but there is something brewing in the broader time frames, and I am talking about this is the quarterly chart. Okay, so I want you to notice here for CLNV that we are making a volatility here on the 3-month, right? So this is macro bullish, and the reason why I'm saying macro bullish is this. Please notice that when we started to get an upside pivot on the stochastic momentum from the SMI MFI indicator, this is stochastic momentum index paired with money flow index. Okay, so the money flow is represented by that histogram back here. So money flow inwards is blue, right? Money flow outwards stays blue with a downtrend into the red, right? So selling pressure, buying pressure. And if you can see here, just like we got the blue cross into the red, right? We're starting to get that red into the blue cross, and we're starting to get our first signals of a continuation to the upside. So CLNV is actually looking macro bullish here. I think if I were to be very honest, then very likely the floor was 126 back in July of 2022. So very likely that was the floor here, and there could be a structure here that's usually known as a bull flag, right? But remember, these are 3-month iterations. We still have 2 months and 13 days to kind of close this out. And not only that, it looks like we're right at the resistance of falling wedge too on the 3-month, which is just massive, right? So this can take some time. I just want to show it to you like this because this is essentially a breakout prep on a very, very higher term time frame, right? So just like I think it could actually be like this, right? So I will show you the meaning of all this in just a quick sec. All right, so yeah, 3-month iteration. When you're doing what we're doing right now, it's breaking out on the, I would say, about the 60%. Usually 65 to 70% is where these falling wedges break out. The upside that we faced recently to that 1263 or 12 or 13, whatever up there, that is usually the resistance that we would face, so that we can come back and validate the newly converted resistance into support before a continuation to the upside. Okay, so CLNV is looking macro bullish, and I know that the price action is hurting some people here. In fact, if we were to consider a full-on range back again to test that support bottom, then you could be looking at about 353, right? Of course, it's a whole cent away, and we don't want that to happen, right? Or even 340. Right, but we could be in the process of already validating that before a continuation to the upside. Okay, you guys, so that's kind of what I'm looking at here for CLNV. Let me just go ahead and leave that there and move on to the next ticker. So Sebastian Lim, thank you so much for your donation, dude. Let me look at that ticker symbol NCMI for you and see what we have. Okay, so this is essentially the loading zone. Let me note that we're starting it, right, because I'm messing up like freaking crazy over here. So 6:33 p.m. Okay, so NCMI. This is essentially where we were sitting, right? And I think I talked to you about a potential retracement back to this zone here as a loading zone. Sebastian, please let me know if that was the case. What is up, moderator Cal L? Thank you so much for coming by. Good to see you here. David Parr, what's up? What's up? What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. And David Parr, I'm actually planning on releasing a dedicated video for VOCL. That was the created, right? And wait, David, I can give you something on Boyle because I looked at it just before I started the live stream. Short-term, very short-term little tiny bounces, but there is no indication that Boyle can actually continue to the upside right now. Okay, so Boyle very likely to continue on its downward path, and I don't see a heavy volatility to the downside, okay? But I am telling you that there are no signs of reversal for the upside on ticker symbol Boyle for now. I need to check on VOCL, okay? But we'll take a look at that, okay? So Sebastian, are you still in the chat? Where are you at, man? I'm asking you, was this, guys, if you remember, we looked at NCMI, I think, in the last live stream. Was this the loading zone that I actually gave? Let's see. You're also trading Boyle, Samantha? Yeah, that's showing a lot of weakness, and you can actually see it in the pumps every day. But yes, a lot of people were asking me about that, so I do feel like I should probably put out something for that too. And try to find the floor on that. So it's failing the broadening descending wedge that we were actually looking at on the 3-day time frame, and that's usually indicative of a continuation to the downside, but not in a volatile manner. Yeah, I know, but Boyle is 2x levered, right? So it gets dangerous whether if it goes to the downside. Sebastian Lim disappearing like crazy. Anyway, you guys, I do recall making this the support touch that we were talking about. And I also recall, I am going to throw Sebastian Lim into the freaking something right now, because I also recall saying upon this touch of either this zone here as a loading zone, Sebastian, I will kill you. What do you mean? This is entire. Was that me and you, Cal? Cal, did you and I speak about this? I don't remember actually making a dedicated video for this. But I mean, it doesn't matter, guys. It's just the thing is that I'm trying to say that this support touch down here. What? And who the hell? Bro, Sebastian, I'm going to go back and find out, and I am going to throw you. Anyway, you guys, so yeah, we had a loading zone located between the area of 3422 to 3139, where I said that there is a very, very heavy amount of resistance followed into this zone here as a take profit, and that has already been realized. Okay, so this really sucks. All right, so I hope no one got stuck on that, and I hope I actually did talk about it, man. All right, so there is at least we do have the RSI suggesting a continuation to the upside here, finding that support from that 14-day simple. Okay, but I mean, we can't always trust that. And yes, we are showing some doom candles, of course. We don't want those we actually don't want those long wicks to the upside, okay? They're giving us some silly little reads over here. Let me see the buy daily, see if we have like some, or even the daily, see if we have a 3 black crows there somewhere, right? So, yeah, these long wicks, guys, those are usually very, very bearish signs, right? So, but of course, it could be also a fake out, right? But please notice that critical volatility here with a potentially corrective 3-day exponential moving average, that's not always going to correct all the way, okay? So, Sebastian, when did you get long this? Okay, my dude. So let me see what I can save you with, man. So the 8-hour suggesting a little bit of a pivot on that stochastics, and okay, so the 6-hour is suggesting an upside still. All right, so this is really what I'm looking at here, and it could lead to a continuation to the downside. Okay, but please take this into heavy consideration as an entertainer, as though I'm dancing in a pole in Vegas, okay? Not as a financial advisor, which I'm not. Okay, so I really do think that there could be some type of resistance and a pullback zone from 4133 to 4304. Okay, so if that is the case, then we could face a resistance from this side and then start testing this bottom side yet again at about 3419. Yes, I am suggesting a chop box, okay, but we don't know that. We have to see what else is happening in the following days, okay. So immediate short-term time frame. Let's see. Sebastian Lim over here, man. All right, consolidation on the short term. Bi-hourly is actually, let's see. Bi-hourly is actually making a little bit of a bullish cross right here, which is indicative and giving this validity, 41.33 to 43.04, right? So let me look at the 6 hour. We were just at it, but I just want to validate, right? So 6 hour upside pivot in the gravitational zone with a 14-day simple as resistance above us, and a 12-hour facing that upside, but the daily may have the resistance. Okay, so daily may actually have the resistance from the opposing side's gravitational zone. Okay, man. I would really be careful with this, because this is printing drives of bearish divergence. This is one drive right over here. This is another drive of hidden bearish divergence. There could be that upside, like I'm telling you, 41.33 to 43.04 before a pullback. Okay, things are stacking up here on the bearish side. Okay, I get it. We do have an upside pivot on the buy daily with critical contraction. I see it. I do, but not. We have to consider the overall psychology. Okay, we have to also consider that people are looking at the fact that the RSI is. Let me make it large. Okay, that the fact that the RSI has done this. They're not looking at this little pivot. They're looking at this. Okay, psychologically speaking. So try to be a psychologist from behind your screens, right? Try to see what the sentiment may or may not want, not based on your open position, but based on logic. Okay, so that is essentially what I'm looking at for this ticker here. Okay, so don't let me find another freaking resistance over here, because it could very well be a descending channel. I'm not even going to get into it, okay, because I do see a downside coming in back to around 31.65 to the area of about 34.22 after that touch at 40, this top side right over here, right? So, no, not that top side, Sebastian Lim. This one, 41.33, 43.04. All right, my brother. Sorry if I didn't look at your, Sebastian, sorry if I didn't look at, I didn't see your DMs, right? I need to go ahead and check on those, and hopefully you can escape this scot-free. All right, let's go ahead and leave NCMI out of the way now, you guys, and move on to the next ticker. So I definitely need to see ticker ATXI for my moderator, Mark Roach. Let's see what it's got for us. All right, so this ticker is actually something that I haven't seen in quite a while. Very convoluted here, as it was a live stream ticker, right? Very interesting that this thing is actually still following our damn chop box that we've been looking at forever, right? So let's see what it's got in line for us. But I would like to actually open up an entirely new chart, because this is just so terrible. Moderator Kyle, oh, what you talking about, man? All right, so yes, let's go ahead and pull up the log chart here. The daily time frame is always the one that we want to resort to, right? Or reflect on first before we can make an educated guess here. Okay, so Mark Roach, are you looking to get long this, or you are already long ATXI? Let me, yeah, I want to know if you're, there is actually something happening here, and it could be indicative of a move to the upside soonish. Mark Roach, are you already long this, buddy, or what's the big deal? Yeah, I'll go ahead and try to add it into the list. I still have to take a look at ticker symbol. Let me see. ALT, I think, was after ATXI, so let me put it. I'll try my best, guys. I have all your requests, right? But I can't promise anything up in here, and it would be a lot better if I can actually, be more human than human. Bullish engulfing on that FOXO, very indicative of a continuation to the upside. Cool, very cool. Don't let me see that this thing actually has a downside. Mark Roach, you're in at 119. Perfect. Let me take a look at that 119. Okay, so what's the 133? So you're in the money now. Okay, the only thing I don't like is that. Okay. Look, this is honestly a very, very typical setup, right? So. Yes, these are indicative of a continuation to the downside, but they're also this is also trickery for the shorts. So this stopped out a lot of shorts. This is a liquidity grab for short positions, And sometimes this can actually just come back and reaccumulate and tell us this would be an indication of a continuation to the upside. Okay, we were looking at this on BBBY. We're looking at this setup on several tickers. AVRL, I think a lot of tickers showing this exact price action, right? So 12-hour stochastics are showing a potential upside here, right? A little bit of that curvature on that EMA 3. So that's already a good sign, okay, and definitely in critical contraction as well. So if we are looking at a potential something here, then it could be indicative of an ascending channel, right? Something like this right over here. And you can see that the lines are pretty perfect, right? So it is kind of suggesting that. So I'm not saying that we're going to come back. There's always the probability, right, to come all the way back down to 107, but that's not what I'm seeing here. In fact, I do think that this is just a signal, a break of market structure, since we were facing a series of lower highs, right? So, but you have to remember this, okay? You have to always remember this. This upside pivot here is still a macro lower high, right? So it's still suggesting that, right? Even though, right? So what I'm saying here is that if you're looking at it as a kind of a good swing play or holding on to this for a bit, then as long as we are below the area of about 273, my favor is towards the bears, right? But bears look like they're getting shaken out now, and there could be an indication for a continuation to the upside. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the momentum represented by the RSI and take a look at it, right? So let me look at that weekly. Yeah, okay, Cal, you're saying, let's see. Moderator Cal coming in and saying that the weekly Stokes suggest rising channel. Oh, dude, really? Oh, yeah, damn. And also into contraction. Okay, all right. So actually, that's making me curious over. Let's see. Is there money coming in under this? Is there a news or something? Because yeah, the money flow is actually suggesting an entry. And I mean, up and down, right? This is the weekly, but let me look at a shorter time frame, like the 12-hour. Okay, so minimizing sell pressure here, right, with an upside pivot on that Stoke. And please notice that the RSI is pivoted straight to the upside in the bullish control zone. So this is looking not bad. Load the stochastic RSI. Okay, let me look at Stokes represented by an RSI. So the combination of a Stoke and RSI. Okay, so actually we do have a cross above the signal, right? So this is very bullish, but I think that we could, yeah, man, actually we could top out again at 171 starting tomorrow. If we're able to succeed above that 171, the next most obvious target would actually be between the area of about let me give it to you in a range though, right? So we have there is heavy confluence here, and I'm going to load the fibs too, right? So something along the lines of I would say right about there. Actually, man, it could be a tighter target than I initially intended for this to be. I would say 228 to about 246. And I mean, we're getting a very, very bullish thing here on the upper time frames. Let me see if there's a loading zone on the 30-minute and find out to see if we have something to the, okay, yeah, money coming outwards. Short positions are opening ever so slightly here, but they may get trapped. RSI still suggesting an upside, right? Stokes are suggesting a downside, just like the traditional Stokes as well. I don't usually like to have so many indicators up like this, you guys, so I'm going to get rid of the MFI and just keep into consideration the RSI and the stochastic RSI. Okay, so let me look at the bi-hourly now and see what we have. Yeah, no, the BBWP has not been appealing to me. Bi-hourly showing a pretty nice setup. We still have an upside pivot here on Stokes, and if that is the case, then that means that we can face a very short-term downside to about $1.29, where we could find a support from the 14-day simple moving average and the gravitational zone of the bear weakness, and then face an upside here to eventually succeed the top side of about, yes, 71. But remember, I'm talking about minimum, I would say a minimum 4-hour closure above 170. What is the top side of this? 169 actually. So above that 169 area, 4-hour closure can take us upside into this target here of 228 to 246. Let me take a fib to see if we have anything in that's sharing or rhyming there. Okay, so just like this here. Oh, sorry. I'm going to take it actually to the bottom side of the range, not from the bottom side of that candle, right? So just like this. Okay, so the upper target that I'm talking about is actually just upside of the one spot, 272 at about 242. So very confluent to that. Okay, so this is another target here, and it does show to be upside of the one spot 618. If you're looking at the closing of the candle instead, that's very confluent to 204. Okay, so I'm going to draw the 204 target here because that's a very dangerous area to kind of find resistance since it's about 2, 3, 4 candles and the one spot 618, which is directly the golden mean. This would be an area that I would consider getting out upon this actually being met. Very likely a retracement back to about 169 before a continuation to the upside. Okay, so be very careful with this, okay, because this is showing us so much, like, it's showing so much bullish and so much negative, but I'm still favoring the bulls here, okay, because I'm very much going to stick to the narrative of shaking out the shorts with this massive candle, and it's for a reason. It usually means that an upside continuation is more than likely. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and end off the ticker symbol ATXI there and look at my, I know that somebody actually asked me to take a look at the ticker symbol ALT, and I will absolutely look at it for you now, my brother. Let me see what we got here for you. Okay, so ALT, and I know I loaded it somewhere, but I don't remember where. It doesn't matter. We have it here now. Okay, you guys, I was a little curious over this ticker too, Cal. This one actually had a pretty nice bump, and I'm not sure exactly why it did it, but there could be, this is 6 days ago, still nothing. I was wondering if it actually had a pop to the upside. Austin D, not a problem whatsoever. All right, so yeah, let me pull up volatility here and see if we have anything in the momentum. And oh man, okay, so it's already maturing actually in the 12-hour. Let's see the daily. Okay, the daily has a very nice setup even still. 8-hour still pivoted towards the upside, and 4-hour has a little bit of retracement, likely the hour too. Okay, so in the 30 minutes should be the capitulation. All right, so if we do have some type of pullback here, this is likely to happen. Maybe. One more little tiny detail here is that this is a little bit of a bull flag forming on the hourly, right? So, or the 30-minute. Remember that bull flags don't always tend to play out, but there is a signal here that it can continue to the upside. We really need to close upside of this candle right here that has a high of 549, and we currently are at 548 and finding consistent resistance there. Okay, so if we can't close above that 549, then this can face a downside more than likely, okay? But if we are able to succeed that upside of 549, then your next most obvious target is $6, and that could be that's actually a pretty substantial move in a scalp trader's perspective, right? That's an additional 10% there. That's a very fair trade. If it is that the sentiment takes it to the closing of the candle instead, then that would be indicative of a move to about maybe, just upside of 18%. Yes, dude. Are you? Cal L, are you seeing that? Let me see. Oh, it totally is. And in fact, this is okay. Let me get rid of this on the weekly, and I mean we already have the indications for a huge upside. So immediate short-term time frame could be reaccumulation, right? So let me see if we actually have what I'm thinking I'm looking at here. Was this in fact okay? Let's just like this and like this, right? So actually it would be around this area here. Okay, so let's see, 1, 2, third test, of course, capitulation, reload, and $6.36 is coming up again. Okay, so 636 could be an upside target here. Okay, now if I draw you the 636, you'll be surprised as to just how confluent that is, right? So let me just go ahead and draw a little bit of a retracement line here, just like this, right? And please notice it here that we've used it several times as a support touch, resistance touch right there as well, right? Support touch here, support, resistance here, and of course everything just chopping around that area there. So it's very much indicative of a potential resistance zone there. But the good thing is here is that the weekly candle is kind of insinuating a potential breakout on true test number 4. Okay, so if that is the case, then very cool, but not always, right? So now Cal is saying if, but it doesn't look like it's gonna do the upside like that, right? So it feels like a lot of vast to get through those resistances. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of resistance here. So my honest to God, like resistance level would be at about $6, right? But this thing, this thing could actually reload once again. On what time frame are you looking at that, Cal? Is that on the daily, brother? This right over here, right? So if we can actually face that $6 target, then we would actually come back down, reaccumulate it again, and then make an upside continuation. And this actually would be reaccumulation cycles. A lot of people know them as cups, right? But we could be doing something like, let me see where the hell that damn tool is. I don't know where my, let me see if I can pull something up here, guys. Hold on just a quick sec. I don't usually use that, the brush, right? So does anybody know if this thing does come with a brush or not? Is there a brush actually on TradingView? I know that there is one on Webull and stuff, but I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. So this is essentially what I'm looking at, right? Just like let's just say that it were something like this, and then another cycle like that, and then another cycle like this, right? So it could be doing something like this, and doing it like maybe like over and over again, right? If that is going to be the case. But these are usually accumulation cycles and usually end up for an upside continuation, similar to like this, right? So it does. They don't happen all the time, but they sometimes indicate, you know, downsides or upside continuation, right? So inverted on the weekly has the invert. Oh, on the weekly. Let me see that. I'm very curious. You're talking about this as one whole thing? Is that what you're looking at? Let me get rid of these stupid little drawings out of the way too, right? Yeah, I usually don't like to use a brush because the brush is like, it's just kind of messy, right? Yeah, that definitely is it. And of course, this would be a very bearish signal, right? So the good thing here is, in the macro perspective, is this actually, okay? So we are making a series of higher lows, right? So even in this one, I hated that it came back down so close to that one, but this would be indicative of a double bottom. Okay, so as double bottoms are usually looked at on the weekly chart. Okay, so this would be that epitome of one. Okay, so also you also have a weekly tweezer bottom down here, which could indicate a continuation to that upside as well. Okay, so keep an eye on the $6 targets, okay, because this resistance level is very aggressive. I'm talking about 636 would be my maximum top side here, okay, so I'm not sure that it can actually continue on to the upside because it would have to be the sentiment, the psychology would have essentially faced this resistance here and be like, okay, well, we're done here, so just pull out. Okay, so just know that there is that that possibility. Okay, you guys. So, man, I'm sorry that I can't be a lot more clear about this, but. Yeah, that's just the time we needed the upper time frames to kind of give us that target of about $6, and yeah, man, we just need to validate. We just need to validate and close above this this ridiculous candle here, and then the closing of yeah, so 636 is actually rhyming with the closing of this candle here at around 650, right? But usually we tend to resist from the wick, right? So 602. So there's a lot to combat here. That's all I'm trying to say. But it's looking okay. All right, you guys. So yeah, you know what? Let me try my best to. I need to get out of here in a few minutes. So let me give FOXO a quick little look right now, and then we'll look at COEP. Okay, you guys, and that'll be it for today. Kareem Decker, what's up? What's up? Thank you so much for stopping by. Can't wait to see you on the. I think we should be beginning the master's course number 1, the introduction, on Sunday. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get that sent out. I've already started making the master badges, or the master student badges for you. Okay, so expect your email to come in soon. All right. So Arca challenged, overlay COEP and FOXO and chart them simultaneously. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and pull up two individual tickers. In fact, guys, this is actually not something that is how can I say, it's not new to me, because the reason I would do this is actually to trade pairs. Okay, so something that moves, like for example, a bond versus a currency, or an equity versus a crypto, or something like that. You can trade pairs and have a deeper edge that way, right? So let me load up on the top side here. What was it? COEP. The thing is that COEP is already drawn by me, right? So this is actually going to be two individual tickers, right? So let's go ahead and look at both of them on the daily, but let me load up the tools first, right? So we'll go ahead and see BBWP. We'll load up our momentum as well. Let me position them just like this, right? And then we will start to see, because there is a similarity even in the price action for all of these very, very cheap stocks, right? So let me load up the tools right over here as well and see what we have. Okay, very, very cool stuff. And upload this right here, okay, and put that right down there. Okay, so FOXO on the daily time frame is already showing a potential upside because we have a bullish engulfing printed right there. Okay, this is making me curious over moving averages. Okay, so averages are always very important to your trade. Okay, consider putting in your simples in first. If you need to get a little more surgical, then of course get your freaking exponentials in there, okay? This is very much suggesting a continuation to the upside, finding a bounce from the daily 50-day simple moving average, opposing COEP, giving us a resistance from the SMA 50 and the SMA 100, okay? Very interesting that we have an entire opposition here, okay? So if we are to face a resistance level from this, then expect COEP to resist at about 146. FOXO finding some resistance, I would say, at the most obvious target, right at about that target of $1.13. $1.13 meets the support levels of these areas here. Look to the upside on every single possibility you can. This entire formation on COEP is kind of indicative of a continuation to the upside. Please notice that it is a reaccumulation phase on several timeframes here. I can show you in several timeframes, but I would rather not, right? In fact, now I'm remembering that I did have the drawing like this. SMA 100 located right at about 162. That top side could be the overall resistance on the daily, okay? If you're looking at a continuation for FOXO beyond the area of 113, we really need to close this with a minimum 8-hour candle before a continuation onto the upside. What's giving us the upside validation is stochastics in the bullish control zone with maxed out volatility at that, let's see, 93%, very, very likely going to continue on to the upside. Moving to a shorter time frame on FOXO, you will likely see that upside is even more aggressive. Let's see the 8-hour. Okay, so 8-hour. Having that upside pivot here is not as aggressive as I thought, but more aggressive in volatility. We still have that upside here, corrective, very likely going to affect the 12-hour. If we look at COEP in comparison here, okay, you guys, this is already starting an contraction phase below the moving average, and we have an upside pivot. This is signaling a continuation to the upside, and if I'm going to be very honest, this could be the move coming up for COEP. Bounce upside of the 100-day simple moving average, resist at 184, come back down 158, continuation onto the upside, being this the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth touch, true breakout. validation and continuation to the upside. Okay, so we very likely can touch the overall take profit zone, which could be at 194. Okay, you guys. So now it's a little crappy that FOXO doesn't have a formation like COEP to continue onto the upside. But if we were to look a little bit deeper, then please know that this is actually a falling wedge, or it could even be considered a triangle of sorts, right? I'm talking about a right angle triangle. So if we can look at it in this perspective, something like this, and we face this side down here as that support touch, as you know, the bottom side of the wedge, then we already broke out of this wedge, and the top side target for this would be located right there. How do I know that? Well, we can take a trend line from the top side of the triangle all the way to the bottom side of the triangle. We apply it to the breakout zone, and please notice that it's very much confluent with the top side target of our discretionary area of 113. We can now make pretty much a resistance range, right? So just like this, let's validate that resistance range with a fib for both COEP and for FOXO. Please notice now that we have the 3.618 located right at that 112. We were guessing 113. This is very typical, guys. This is really textbook, okay? Both of these are absolutely textbook setups. They are suggesting a continuation onto the upside. Please remember COEP, I would say a top out first at about 160, reversal to the 50-day simple moving average 147. We beat this. We get upside to about 184, retrace 184 to 158, continuation onto the upside. Okay, FOXO, I would honestly be very careful with this topside target. If you are already in the green, consider getting the hell out soon, okay? But this is actually still suggesting a very nice upside. 30-minute immediate short-term time frame RSI for FOXO, finding that support from the 14-day simple. That's indicative of a continuation to the upside, giving validity to our upside thesis. Bi-hourly time frame, let's see. Bi-hourly time frame in the gravitational zone there too. Very curious. I'm actually curious over COEP to see if we have any type of confluence like that, because that is pretty nice. That actually both of these tickers are showing that the overall small caps, micro caps may be facing an upside tomorrow. Okay, so we are in the gravitational zone of FOXO in the bull strength percentile, very likely to continue on to the upside here. Please notice that the daily is crossing above that 14-day simple moving average, very likely going to face that upside. Let me see the 12-hour on COEP, making that cross above the 14-day simple as well. Let me dive into the 30-minute COEP. Bullish control zone, upside continuation, very likely bi-hourly into the bullish control zone and upside continuation too. Now the opposition here in FOXO, the bi-hourly, of course, we just talked about that upside being faced because of that gravitational zone. 6-hour time frame does have a little bit of weakness, but please notice your 14-day simple moving average. Overall, both of these tickers very likely to find an upside tomorrow into the next day, and I would heavily suggest you take profit as soon as humanly possible, because there are no signs on FOXO to suggest a continuation to the upside in a macro perspective. This is actually please remember, let me get rid of the drawings just like this, that we are still essentially making a series of higher lows, okay? As long as we are below the area of 165, 167, we are still favoring the bulls. Now mentioning COEP on a broader term time frame, please notice as well here, let me go to that buy daily actually, and please notice that this is still very much in an accumulation zone. It could be macro, but to tell you the honest truth, guys, come on. We need to combat the area of about $2.15 before we can make any type of upside move here, okay, you guys? So that is going to do it for COEP and for ticker symbol FOXO together, guys. Please consider, please. Damn, the snap, the challenge was accepted. Dude, this was very fun. Actually, that could be something to show a lesson in two different pairs, right? So it's very cool. Moderator Cal, you are the man. Guys, thank you so much, everybody, for coming by. Okay, so BBBY, man, we did talk about that. Oh, man, we got that upside on that BBBY. It was very impressive, by the way. When did we look at that? Let me see here. I'm actually curious because Cal and I have been very we've been entertained, let's just say the very least, right? So we've been entertained with that BBBY ticker. We definitely saw a potential upside coming in days and days ago, and this is why we actually ran a back test, right? So please know that this back test actually was out of 35 total iterations, giving us a 71% accuracy with a 62 spot, 5% move to the upside. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is not because of the freaking RSI or the damn money flow index, which, by the way, is now printing green, right? And straight pivoted towards the upside. But it's because of this. Guys, please notice that we have stochastics now with a massive upside pivot right now, both the EMA 3 and the SMA 14, suggesting a massive upside continuation. Please notice right now that we have now the contraction phase starting, and that is essentially the back test. Anytime that we have expanded into critical volatility and faced a contraction phase paired with momentum upside pivot, we have gained an on average a 62.55% move to the upside. That 62.55 takes us to about 52.27. Okay, so I mean, it's on average. It doesn't actually have to go there. But it's just there. The indications here for the upside, guys, is absolutely still relevant, and we are definitely I hate saying definitely, but very likely going to continue to the upside. Quick loading zone tomorrow, back down to about 27.67 before a continuation to the upside. Highly likely. Okay, man. So actually, in respects to my buddy right there, I actually noticed that I did skip over that ticker symbol REVB, right? So let me just look at that one real quick for you, my bro. Not a problem whatsoever. Okay, so that was REVB, or was it? Oh, right. We were confused over the verb and REVB. I got you, man. No problem. And then I will have to go after that. Okay, my dude. So that is going to be REVB. And let's take, we definitely got a really nice call. Cal and I actually looked over those charts for BBBY a few days ago. And we were like, what? Very likely BBBY going to face an upside move. And today, guys, that was essentially that. Check this out, Cal. Very similar here to what we're looking at, right? This is that setup. Check out REVB. Let's go to the I'm going to look at it in the daily, of course, but I just wanted to see what that closure was on the 12-hour. So okay, the signal already fired. Okay, so the signal fired the moment that we started getting this down, the upside pivot from the moving average on the BBWP. Okay, so what I mean by that is that we are coming from critical contraction. Okay, so we still have an upside pivot on the daily from the stochastic momentum oscillator. Okay, so now let me look at the shorter time frames to see if there's a deeper setup for that. I don't like to see this. Okay, this is a 6-hour bearish engulfing, usually suggesting a downside. We have the stochastics pivoted towards the downside as well. Okay, let me load up the RSI. Limited downside. It could actually face. Let's see. It's actually a little more consolidation than anything. Let's open up that 30-minute. Geez, the 30-minute is actually finding support from the 14-day simple moving average. Not bad at all. Bi-hourly time frame, consolidation as well. Curvature starting to happen on the stochastic. This is very likely trying to find the bottom here. So this huge liquidity grab here could just be the indication of a break of market structure before a continuation to the upside. So Cal L, literally what I'm saying, bro, this is the thing that you and I have been looking at over the last few nights that we've been charting. This is very, very similar to it. Huge liquidity grab, break of market structure, creating a new high, and very likely coming back down to reaccumulate here, right, for a continuation to the upside. This is a huge shakeout for the shorts. So let's see. It looks like it just started. Exactly, man. So I am honestly thinking that the shorter time frames are just going to probably bottom out where we are. This is likely the floor for the shorter time frames. If we are to suggest a continuation to the downside, guys, I would probably say 108 could be a good entry zone, or I say about 108. Very confluent to these targets right back here, 107, 108, right? So we have an 8-hour pivot towards that upside. And let's see, consolidation again on the 12-hour. Okay, so I mean that, guys, these consolidation periods, just like this, it's hard to expect anything more from the ticker because this is kind of a shock, right? So everybody's like, oh my goodness, now I'm holding a bag that's let's see. I'm pretty much holding a bag now that's minus 52%. That's ridiculous. Okay, so lots of bag holders right now and lots of sentiment coming in for this ticker. Daily time frame, upside suggestion, very nice. Okay, so let's go to the upper time frames and see if we got that signal to the upside. Contraction phase starting, upside pivot on the buy daily. And please notice here, buy daily RSI crossing above that 14-day simple moving average. Very bullish sign. And if you are already holding this ticker long, I'm honestly not the biggest fan of holding these overnight, right? Like 5.38 million in the cap, 3.7. This is very, very much a micro. Okay, so super dangerous, in other words. 3-day little blip here. The nuance on that stochastic showing a potential upside continuation is very nice. Okay, so now, and please notice that we are making a cross above the 14-day simple moving average on the 3-day. Let me zoom in real carefully so you can see what I mean. Just like this. Please notice that that is now happening, and it looks like the upper time frames are the ones that are going to be the catalyst for a continuation to the upside, at least in a volatility move. Okay, so if that is the case, you guys, let's see. Potential tweezer bottom, inverted hammer at the downside, very likely an upside continuation in the macro. Okay, so if we were looking at upside targets here after, I'd say maybe Friday, upside continuation could be almost immediately. I'm talking about not immediately in relevance to the 3-day, meaning that it could start by Wednesday or Thursday. If we are able to get an upside continuation here, it would be into next week, and the obvious target would be the range between 156 to about 168, followed by a resistance, a very strong resistance in the range of about 205 to about 219. Okay, so let me make a quick little drawing there for you. So 205, just like this, right? So what I'm trying to say is you're catching it early. So, which is this is the prep. This is the prep that you should do before getting long this ticker. So 205 to 219 could be that the second take profit, right? So now this is a very curious area to look at, right? So the space between 249 and 302 closing in a minimum 4-hour candle. Okay, so the invalidation here would be not closing a 4-hour candle upside of the 302 area. But if you did face a 302 closure with a 4-hour, that can very likely slide very much to about 593. And with that type of pressure, it can even top out at about $9.67. Okay, so this has a high potential here, but there are very important targets to get out of the way first, okay? The first location, remember that I gave you, okay? This is going to be between the area of about 153 to about 160. I said it's 168. Well, let's leave it at 166. We have to combat all of these three in order for us to get that upside continuation, okay, you guys? But that is going to do it for ticker symbol REVB, and let's go ahead and call it a night now, you guys. But I really very, very, very much appreciate everybody for coming in tonight and hanging out with me, getting our tickers prepped for the next day, right? I really, really would love for everybody to consider joining the ArcMasters trading course, as this will be the last time I do it, guys. I'm not going to continue teaching here. Okay, you guys, so just know that I will offer it for about 10 or 11 more seats, and that will essentially be it. The class should be starting next Sunday. You're very welcome, team. Thank you, moderators, Cal L, Samantha, and Mark Roach. Love you guys. I couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much. Aiden, my boy, we'll go ahead and talk over the COEP ticker, okay? I know we just went over it right now. It is very much accurate, okay? I do expect an upside, and this upside was based on that target that I talked about a couple of days ago from 121, okay? So the topside targets are still there, okay? So let's go ahead and keep an eye on it, okay? Thank you, Cal. Thank you. I love you guys so much. 2 girls, 1 cup. Hey, Arca, you think Mike Hunt is ready? Who in the world is Mike Hunt? Please let me know. 2 girls, 1 cup right now before I dismiss this entire area. Mark Roach, have a good night. I'll catch you soon. I'm not familiar with that with that name. So, and David Parr, you're very welcome, my dude. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. So, guys, please remember, I do not follow any type of fundamental metrics. I only focus on the mathematical probabilities, right? Of course, we're favoring the discretion from Arca here live, right? And I do have a strong discretion, but I would really, I'll explain it to you after church. All right, my dude. All right, so I'll get that. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Okay, you guys. See ya. Bye.